Many people don't really appreciate their shortcomings, setbacks. Many people don't. They see them as things that ruined their lives. I was there. I got derailed in my life. My life not only was derailed, but I was penetrated with no grease. Life wasn't kind to me. At one point, I was royally fucked. And I didn't know how I would ever climb back up to even where I was before the calamities happened. I didn't know how I would bounce back. The calamities were so violent. But it wasn't my duty to worry about how I was going to bounce back. It wasn't my job to worry about how I was going to survive. It was my job to go through it. It was my job to show Mother Nature and life that you may whoop my ass, but you're going to have to really whoop my ass if you think I'm going to give up. I've had times in my life where I fell back on purpose. One thing that I just recently got out of doing and saying is that I'm weary. I'm tired. I feel like I've been fighting my entire life. It hasn't, you've heard it in my other podcasts, it hasn't been good for me. I didn't enjoy my 20s. My 30s were hard. I turned 39 in a matter of a month. And I have yet to not toil with something or someone. But I'll tell you something. Toiling has made me sharp. Toiling has made me smart. Toiling set the groundwork for everything that I do. Because as the queen of shade, I share my life experiences. Who knew I would have such experiences? To the tune of 21,700 and I think 64 originally scripted 1-minute videos. Some of them were 15 minutes. They were 15 when I started. In order to have that kind of arsenal, you know, life had to kick my ass. And it did. It absolutely did. Kicked my ass. But the point of the matter is that I'm so glad it did. That if I had the opportunity to go back in time and demand a redo, if I had the power to change my past, I wouldn't do it. You couldn't pay me a gazillion dollars to change or alter anything that happened to me. And that's where you have to get to. You have to get to that point where you understand that everything that happened to you caused you to grow in ways that you would have never grown had it not happened to you. And I know you're like, wait, Bjorn, you were raped. You were molested. How was that good for you? It wasn't good for me. It was painful. It hurt. But I survived it. And because I survived it, my soul made a biological adaptation. And now I'm an advocate for young men, young gay men, especially, being raped and molested in their youth and child ages. Nobody wants to talk about it. You see? Everybody wants to sweep it under the rug. Everybody wants to pretend it didn't happen. Oh, go on with your life. The only problem is that a rape and a molestation steals your innocence. You are no longer a child after it happens. You are parentified. You become an adult in that moment. That is why the predator came after you. Innocence is what they feed off of. But look at that. Now, everybody that is raped and molested isn't gay, number one. And everybody that is raped and molested doesn't always have a glowing, triumphant story after it happened. A lot of young black gay men, gay boys have committed suicide, have wound up in jail because they're fighting, because they're so angry. A lot of shit happens. Unfortunately. But for me, the way that I thought, see this, the way that I thought before it happened is what saved me. And I was so young, I was 8. But my mind, my spirit, my soul was already there before the rape and molestation. I want you to understand that I survived it because of who I am. I survived it. People didn't know whether I would or not. When they found out that it happened, they were like, oh my God, he's ruined. Ruined. And I'll be honest with you. For a long time, I thought I was. It wasn't just the molestation. I was abused. Physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally, growing up. The world kept trying to beat me down. The world around me. Others kept trying to impose their will on me forcibly. And even in those moments, I still was me. I've always been a fighter. I fought. But when you understand that certain techniques that you have came from dealing with lack, loss, pain, and devastation, you respect lack, loss, pain, and devastation more readily.
To support future content from me, please click the link in my bio section to give and donate.